Barber Motorsports Park 2 weeks ago, the complexion of the Indy Lights Championship fight completely transformed. After 3 straight wins for Series rookie Ed Jones and newcomer Carlin, reigning Pro Mazda champion Spencer Pigot struck back and with authority. Quickly mastering his new Yukos Racing prepared Dallara IL-15, Pigot won from pole, going away in both Barber rounds, rocketing past Jones from a 26-point deficit to the championship lead. Indianapolis is next, the fast-flowing road course on the hallowed grounds of the legendary Brickyard. This is the place where the greatest of racing dreams are conceived and achieved. And Spencer Pigot knows how to dream big.
My long-term goal is to be a driver in the Verizon IndyCar Series and get my face on the Borg Warner Trophy. That's always been my goal, and each year we get one step closer.
The Indy Lights Series presented by Cooper Tires from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is next. This month, there are 3 opportunities for aspiring IndyCar drivers at the top step of the Mazda Road to Indy to race at the world's greatest race course. They'll race on the Oval on Carb Day, 2 days before the 500, and this weekend, 2 times on the road course. Welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Mazda Grand Prix of Indianapolis for Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires. Along with former Indy Lights driver Anders Krohn, I'm Kevin Lee. 5 races complete so far. The first 3 dominated by Ed Jones and Carlin Racing, and then in the last event in late April in Birmingham, Spencer Pigot took over.
Well, we saw Ed Jones burst onto the U.S. racing scene with a bang, and we thought this could be the tale of the season, but it hasn't been that way. Spencer Pigot, our reigning Pro Mazda champion, has clawed into that lead and was dominant at Barber Motorsports Park.
What are you expecting here this weekend?
I expect Indianapolis Motor Speedway to be the exact same that it always is, extremely crazy and wild, and the racing is going to be frantic.
Now, this is not the 2.5-mile oval, yet I'm sure it's still special. Why?
It's so special because it's got all the history. It's got the Brickyard, it's got the Pagoda, it's got Gasoline Alley, it's got all the same ingredients that the oval does, except now you're turning right and left. So it's got all the same ingredients, but it's going to be an amazing race for sure.
Well, it's race 2 of the weekend for Indy Lights. We've got highlights of race 1 coming up in a few minutes, and just a few moments ago, we caught up with Katie Hargett down on pit road.
Jack Harvey moved within just 2 points of the championship lead when he won yesterday's race here at the GP of Indy. So, Jack, you're starting 4th today. How important is that finish for today?
I think we showed last year by drawing in points in the championship. Every race is important, every position is important. So today it's going to be about moving us far forward. I mean, there's no reason why we can't win. We had good pace yesterday, new tyres today. Got some good drivers ahead of me. Just got to try and get through them as quickly as I can.
All right, thank you, Katie. And the championship is as tight as it can be going into race number 7 of 16 this season. Ed Jones leading Spencer Pigot by 1 and Jack Harvey after yesterday's win just 2 points back. Here's how they will line up for race number 2. And it's a different grid than yesterday. Jones is on the pole. Ed Jones on the pole with Sean Rahal in just his 4th start of the season on the outside. Row 2 is Max Chilton and Jack Harvey. Row 3, R.C. Enerson, Kyle Kaiser. Then it's Scott Anderson, Juan Piedrahita. Row 5, Felix Sorrellis and Ethan Ringel. And Shelby Blackstad and Spencer Pigot on the last row. Pigot would have started in the 7th position, but they weren't happy with the power that they had yesterday, so they have made an engine change, and a penalty moves them to the back. Time for keys to the race and Anders Insider.
Well, the biggest thing here is Indianapolis Motor Speedway has the longest straights of the season, so all the teams and drivers have opted for very low downforce levels. Now, those are varying across the different teams and drivers, so it'll be interesting to see who's strong on the straights and who's strong in the corners. Secondly, don't forget about the Indianapolis factor. These guys have so much pressure and so much motivation to succeed at the most storied track in U.S. automobile racing. And finally, will this be the race when we see new championship contenders, or will it be the same top 3?
It is a very nice day today. We've had a possibility of rain, but it's not going to rain during this race here today. It is mostly sunny, 76 degrees, very slight wind, 3 miles per hour from the south, and the track temperature is 102 degrees. In line for an excellent motor race here today at the world's greatest race course. 14 turns, just shy of 2.5 miles in length. They are lined up, coming in the opposite direction we are used to seeing on the oval course, and making their final few turns here through the south end of the course. They'll come back on to the main straightaway. There you see pit in where the pace car has peeled off, and they are aligned with Jones and Rahal in the front. That's Rahal in the orange and black car, and Jones in the blue car gets the early jump. Chilton in the other blue car for Carlin, coming to the inside, trying to grab second from Rahal. Green flag, we're racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we see one of the Bilardi cars pop to the outside, almost 5 wide. Chilton looking to the inside, side by side with Jones for second, and there's Harvey coming through, and Harvey trying to grab second, and one of the Carlin cars will spin. Sean Rahal emerges as the leader. Rahal is in front, one of the championship contenders. In fact, that is the championship leader. Ed Jones around through corner number 1. We will stay green. Jack Harvey chasing through as well. Sorales with Kaiser working on him. Sorales in the red car, Kaiser in the white outside, and Anders through all of that. Sean Rahal is the victor.
Unbelievable job by Sean Rahal there. He tucked right under the wing of Ed Jones there on that front straightaway. Got the draft, and keep in mind, we don't have any push to pass this race, so Ed Jones did not have a chance to defend against Sean Rahal. Sean just went around the outside of him. Ed Jones there squeezing Jack Harvey, but then Jack Harvey just clips the curb and then clips the right rear wheel of Ed Jones, and he spins around. Huge impact for his championship. But obviously Sean Rahal, wow, what a start for him.
So much going on in that first couple of corners through the main straightaway. We're going to get several looks. We are on board with Shelby Blackstock getting a look at the field ahead of him.
Oh, he gained a bunch of positions. He was really smart there. He kind of played a little bit cool. He hung back a little bit, and it paid off massively for him. He's moved up quite some way, all the way to 6th.
And Sean Rahal comes out in front. Jack Harvey, yesterday's winner, second. Felix Sorales in third. Kyle Kaiser in fourth. Juan Piedrahita fifth. Shelby Blackstock is sixth. Then it's Ethan Ringel, R.C. Enerson, Max Chilton, Scott Anderson, Spencer Piggott back in 11th, and Ed Jones, the championship leader, still at the tail of the field after one lap.
Look at this and the massive shakeup this has had, but biggest guy to think about right now is Sean Rahal. I mean, what a job in only his 4th start in the series. He makes it to the front. He was amazing in the race yesterday, finishing second, and today he's leading the race. So this is clearly a guy with 8-Star Motorsports that's doing all the right things right now. But look at Jack Harvey back there. He's not going to be wanting to back down either. And Felix Sorales, who had a podium at Long Beach, he's looking quite strong as well here.
This is the battle for third position. On board, looking from the rear of Felix Sorales' car. Kyle Kaiser with Yunkos is working on him. Sean Rahal is the early leader. He gets through the lap 1 melee. Stay with us. More coming from the Mazda Grand Prix of Indianapolis. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires, and we see one going around. Ethan Ringel going around, battling back for position. He was running in the 8th position. In fact, had just grabbed that spot. We're working on lap 4 of 35 scheduled here, and Spencer Piggott, one of the championship contenders, second coming in, is off into the gravel. He started in the last position because of an engine change, and his day has gone from bad to worse. Let's look again. This is going into turn 1.
He's had a disastrous weekend, and there it is. Ethan Ringel has no idea that Spencer's there, and Spencer breaks a piece of his suspension. His left front suspension is broken, and that's why he's off in the gravel. Disaster for him and Ethan Ringel as well.
So we have gone full course yellow. Sean Rahal is the leader. Jack Harvey is second. Felix Sorales third. Kyle Kaiser and R.C. Enerson. Joining us now is former Indy Lights race winner and also Indy 500 driver Connor Daly is joining us in the booth here today. He'll be in the number 43 Smithfield car for Smith-Peterson Motorsports coming up in the 99th running of the Indianapolis 500. Welcome, Connor.
Thank you, guys. That was a lovely intro. I appreciate that.
Fueled by bacon, right?
Absolutely. We have the Pork Palace over in the Indianapolis garage area. We're excited about the Smithfield partnership.
What do you think of what we've seen here so far? This is a lot of activity crammed into 4 laps.
Yeah, as I just told you guys, it's been great. crazy so far. To see Sean Rahal in the lead, someone who obviously is very new to this championship, and a lot of activity with, Spencer Pigot, who's fighting for the championship lead, and gosh, it's been gnarly so far.
We will continue to chat with Connor in just a moment as we see Spencer Pigot climbing out. Second in the championship, just one back. Race 2 of the weekend. Race 1 yesterday, much decided in the opening corner. Jack Harvey had the pole for this event. Ed Jones started in the second position. Sean Rahal in the orange and black car. There you can see him in third. Jones in the blue 11 car falls back. That's Enerson in the Lucas Oil car trying to jump to the outside. He tried to go all the way from fifth to first going to that first corner. Gets off in the grass. Pigot off into the grass just a little bit as well. And Harvey squirts through unscathed. A couple of laps later, this is into turn number 7. The Bilardi red cars sandwiching Kyle Kaiser. Kaiser goes around. This is on board with Felix Sorales. He was on the outside. And Anders, they can't go through 3 wide.
That just did not work through turn 7. I'm feeling bad for Kyle Kaiser here because he's been involved in so much stuff this year so far, and that was through no fault of his own. That's Felix Sorales there who was penalized for that right there. But Jack Harvey just absolutely dominant.
First win of the season by nearly 5 seconds. Jack Harvey, a winner at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Harvey vaults right back into the championship mix. He comes into today 2 points out of the lead, but as things stand here in the early going, he has an opportunity to make a jump up in the points even more because Ed Jones is languishing back in 10th position. He was 1 point in front. Spencer Pigot was 1 point back. Pigot is already out of the car, so Harvey running second has a chance to take some early control.
And I think this is really where Jack Harvey has been so strong this year, coming back from last year where he finished second in the championship. I think he learned last year that you have to be consistent in this championship. That's how the points are structured here. And so he's been the model of consistency all year long. Even though they hadn't had the pace early in the year, they finally have it now. And now he's been winning races and obviously now running in yet another podium position. So Jack Harvey and his Schmidt-Peterson crew, very, very smart in how they've structured their championship attack this year.
Let's go back and look at the start of this race one more time. So much was going on there. We are on board with Felix Sorales. He started in the 9th position, so we'll get a good look there. That's Kyle Kaiser to his inside. And up ahead, Rahal getting in front in the orange and black car. Jones trying to squirt through. Going around, Harvey with some slight contact there. But Harvey probably feels like I got pushed off in the grass. I've got to try to get back on the course, and you're in my way there.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Harvey was not a happy camper there, but boy, what a start from Felix Sorales. He did that outside line that we've seen you, Connor Daly, do on so many starts, and I remember when you and I raced Pro Mazda together, that used to be your go-to move on starts and restarts. I don't know if you can talk to what you saw Felix do there and how it worked out.
Yeah, that was good for him to be, he made the right decision there and was in the right place, especially when, Jones, I don't think Jack can be blamed for that contact there because Jones was definitely keeping Jack off the track, and the curves are quite bumpy there when you have the center of the car over them. So, outside was a great place for Felix to be, and he took advantage of it. And I'm very curious to see, how Jack can attack Sean here and see if, because Sean was quite quick there yesterday in the race, and so let's see if he can keep the lead.
Felix Sorales going from 9th to 3rd. He has a podium finish earlier this season at Long Beach. So let's take a look at what happened with Spencer Pigot here when he goes into the gravel.
Suspension is broken.
Yeah, it was just the left front suspension
we saw earlier.
Exactly, just left front suspension, and he has no chance. You can see he's trying to save the car there, but the left front wheel is just dangling there, so nothing he could do. But boy, what a big impact to his championship. He's been so good in the early parts of the year. He just started by building momentum slowly but surely, and then he came to Barber Motorsports Park and unleashed the speed that him and Juncos have been working on, and boy, this is a real shame for him.
And it's been a big weekend for Juncos Racing. Their first year in Indy Lights. It was announced a few days ago that Ricardo Juncos and his group are going to be building a new technical facility, a new shop on Main Street in Speedway with designs of eventually going IndyCar racing. I spoke with Ricardo this morning. He said, now, not so fast. I don't expect us to be in IndyCar next year. We are going to try to be patient and do it the right way. So still probably a couple of years away. Connor, you won the first championship for that team in their second year racing in cars in America back in 2010 in Pro Mazda.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky Junco's there. He's got a great group of guys, and I'm actually very surprised at the rate of speed he's built up this team, and they've already won at Indy Lights. They've won all across the board and everything they've done. So I would love to see them in IndyCar racing. I think that would be incredible for their family, for the sport, for everyone involved in the road to Indy as well, because you can see that even teams go from the road to Indy, so that's a really exciting thing.
Yeah, not just for drivers, but also for engineers, mechanics, and teams as well. We will go back to green, this time by Sean Rahal. Got through in turn 1. He is the early leader. This is his only guaranteed weekend. He's trying to see what interest he can drum up. He's had success in sports cars and stock cars, now back in formula racing, and what a return it has been. Rahal, Harvey, Sorrellis, Kaiser, and Enerson. Pace car is already peeled off, back on the main straightaway. Rahal gets the opportunity to pace them once they get there, coming through. They are in the south end on the oval portion of the road course. 3 more turns before they get back onto the oval portion, and then it is fast flying into turn number 1, Anders.
It really is, and there he goes. Good jump for Sean Rahal. He caught Jack sleeping a little bit there. Let's see if Jack can suck up in the draft. It's such a long straightaway now. Sean Rahal going down to the inside towards turn 1 here to fend off Jack, and now, oh yeah, Jack is sucking up real good there. Let's see, he's going to try it around the outside. Oh, man. Oh, look at Felix Sorrellis. Outside through turn 2. He's going to move up to second here. Wow.
Great move there.
Felix Sorrellis will get the position. He's clear on Jack Harvey, and Sorrellis is into second. Rahal getting through, maintaining the advantage. Then it's Sorrellis, Harvey, the other Yugo's car, Kaiser in 4th. Enerson is in 5th position. Piedrahita, Chilton, Anderson, Blackstock, Jones as well in the top 10. Here's Shelby Blackstock as he takes a pick going into turn number 7. Won't find it there. Rahal has stretched the advantage by a couple of car lengths. Sorrellis, Harvey, Kaiser, the Lucas Oil Machine, Enerson in 5th where he finished yesterday.
Look at Kyle Kaiser, man. He is on fire at the moment. He was almost challenging Jack Harvey for a pass there down the back straight.
Let's take a look again at how Sorrellis got that second position. On board with him. And as Harvey looked to the outside, he was able to pounce on the opportunity. Smart
move there. He broke in clean air, got a good run off turn 1, and just did Jack around the outside of turn 2. Very, very smart there. I'm very impressed with Felix Sorrellis.
Good racing here in the early going. 35 laps are scheduled from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Sean Rahal, 8-Star Motorsports, is the early leader in the Mazda Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Working lap 11 of 35 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the second of 2 Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires races this season. And 20-year-old Georgia native Sean Rahal is the early leader in just his 4th Indy Lights race, and he has extended his lead by more than a second now on Felix Sorrellis and Jack Harvey. Harvey taking a look for second there on Harvey. He won't be able to find it, along with Anders Krohn and Connor Daly. I'm Kevin Lee. R.C. Enerson has moved up to the 4th position just a few moments ago. Here's how he got it on Kyle Kaiser. Looking back there, 4th car line. Kaiser in the white and blue car. Enerson, the black and red to the inside in turn 1.
Just better on the brakes there. Just outbroke Kyle Kaiser. Got a little bit of a draft ahead of that and just did a clean, nice pass. R.C. Enerson been very impressive in his rookie season so far. And he's right behind his teammate now, Jack Harvey, and he is actually at the moment a little bit quicker.
Connor, what do you make of what Sean Rahal is doing? He's someone who came up in karting, went through Skip Barber when he was 12 years old, won a regional championship at 13, actually raced against you and Joseph Newgarden a little bit, but then he went stock car racing and sports car racing, and this is his 4th race in a Formula car. As we see Harvey taking a look at Sorrellis there in 1, can't quite get him.
Yeah, he's done a great job there leading, consistent laps, staying out in front of guys who've been in the car the whole season. So you've got to give him a lot of credit as he's extended the lead quite a ways. I think Jack was probably pretty upset to get behind Felix, because I'm sure he is probably quicker. And here he goes. Just got to send it on the brakes. Oh man, that was good stuff.
Sorrellis and Harvey come together. Harvey gets through. Sorrellis keeps it on course as well. Some contact, but they keep going.
Oh, look at this. R.C. Enerson capitalizes on that. He's up into the 3rd spot there. Great move for him. But there was contact between Felix Morales and Jack Harvey there, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them have any damage to their cars. That could potentially ruin their races. We now see Felix going to try going back on RC.
This is into turn number 7. That is Enerson in front in the Lucas Oil number 7 car.
Oh, look at that moment right there. He's pushing so hard. He got that dirty air from R.C. Enerson. A lot of turbulent air. That's turn 8, 9, and 10. Got a little bit of turbulent air and got a moment right there.
So R.C. Enerson, another American teenager, has picked up another spot into 3rd position. Harvey in 2nd. Rahal still leads. And here is another look at Harvey going a lap ago for that position.
Giving him the side horn there, feeding him a wheel, but I think that's great racing. I mean, gosh, you know, they're still both on track. No one was in the grass or anything, so good for Jack.
Our NBCSN broadcast partner, Paul Tracy, hopefully watching somewhere,
Yeah.
be proud of that reference of the side horn. One more look at it.
Yeah, that was a great move right there. Great move.
And pretty impressive that everyone was able to hang on. Sorales obviously is disappointed that he lost the position and then lost another one on Enerson. And now we see Sorales is off as we go back to live action. So Sorales had survived to fight on, running in the 4th position, but now he's off and well off the pace.
And the big question I've got is, could this be due to damage sustained when there was contact there? It was a pretty solid hit going into turn 1. So let's have a look at the sidewalls of the tires here. Let's see for any sort of marks or anything like that. See if there is suspension damage there. That could certainly explain it.
So Felix Sorales was in line for his 2nd podium, and now he's all the way in the back, and let's see what happened.
Oh man, just overcooks it. We saw that in the race yesterday as well, happened to a couple of drivers. It's a very tough corner, turn 1, because it is slightly downhill, and the car gets really light there. So if you're carrying the brake in too deep, it is going to loop around on you. So that's a shame for Felix. His day went from good to bad to now horrible.
Is it possible that he suffered some sort of damage that led to him losing control going into that corner?
Well, it didn't really look like he locked any wheels. That's what I'm thinking. Usually you'll see a little bit of lockage of wheels there, but we didn't see that. So, and for right now, he's running pretty strong pace again, and that's Juan Piedrahita there with Ed Jones.
That's a battle for 6th position. It's the other Belardi racing car. Ed Jones is going to try to fight back. Jones is the championship leader, +1 on Spencer Pigot, who is already out of this race. Jack Harvey running in 2nd as we speak is the points leader as they run. So Piedrahita and Jones working at it, while Rahal up front has stretched his advantage to 2.6 seconds on Jack Harvey. Here's Jones trying to go around the outside into turn number 7.
Oh, can he make that stick? Oh, he's in the grass. Now he's going to be the inside for 8. Outside. Oh, yeah, he's got the move. Wow, what a great move. We're seeing some amazing racing here today. This is fantastic.
And yesterday was a little bit processional. Today, not so the case.
Yeah, this has been good fun so far. I think there's a lot of frustration between drivers, as we can see, but a lot of good racing as well, so it's interesting.
Connor, you tested this car here last fall, and they changed this track here in the last year. It's become a very good racing course.
Yeah, when I tested the car here, you know, it was all in its early stages, but definitely a great fun car to drive around here. The surface is a low grip surface so far, since since it's a new surface, and you know, it's created a lot of sideways moment, a lot of steering activity as we've seen from the onboard cameras, and you know, I think it's a great place to race.
Connor, thank you for joining us for a little while. We are pleased to say that you have sponsor obligations. Good luck in the 500 with SPM and Smithfield Foods.
Thank you, guys.
Stay with us, plenty more to come. We are not quite halfway done in Indy Lights with Sean Rahal leading at Indianapolis. Here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on Wednesday, all 3 levels of the Mazda Road to Indy, featuring 51 entries representing 16 nations, kicked off the weekend with a photo shoot on the front straight of the iconic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And it has been a fantastic weekend with all 3 levels of the Mazda Road to Indy racing at this great facility.
Yeah, and you know, the thing that makes me smile about that picture, Kevin, is that in that picture are several future Indy 500 winners. So you look at that picture right now, scroll forward a few years, and you have an Indy 500 winner. So really, the Mazda Road to Indy is the only place where you're going to see the future Indy 500 winners come through the system. And these guys are at the top rung of the Mazda Road to Indy ladder. You start off with the USF 2000, then you go to Pro Mazda, and then you go to Indy Lights, all powered by Mazda. And all these categories have scholarships to move them up towards IndyCar.
We're past the halfway point of this Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires event, with Sean Rahal leading still by a second and a half. R.C. Enerson in third. There's Kyle Kaiser in the blue and white number 18 car. He's in fourth position, trying to hold off. And think about this, if you're 18-year-old Kyle Kaiser, he's trying to hold off a guy who drove in Formula One the last 2 years in Max Chilton.
Yeah, exactly. Max Chilton, tremendously experienced driver, and he made the brave move to come over to America and race in Indy Lights this year, and he's dovetailing that with a campaign with Nissan and LMP1 in the World Endurance Championship. So Max Chilton is a very busy boy, and Kyle Kaiser, having moved up from Pro Mazda, has shown great pace so far this year. He just hasn't been able to put it together. So this would be a great result for Kyle Kaiser because he's had a lot of bad luck. He's made some mistakes, but this would be a breakthrough result for him if he manages to stay out front like he is right now of Max Chilton.
Max Chilton has only finished on the podium one time so far this season, third in the second race at Barber Motorsports Park a couple of weeks ago. He was fourth yesterday, fourth in the second race at St. Petersburg, but I suspect he thought it was going to go a little bit better here in America.
Yeah, and you know, it's so tough to see where you're at in Formula One because you have so many different levels of competition, or should I say different manufacturers and different teams. So it's a completely different way of going racing, and Indy Lights is very, very much a spec series. And as he pops out to look at Kyle Kaiser, that locks up the wheel a little bit. What he tried to do there was not go for a pass, but he was trying just to stress Kyle Kaiser. Again, let's go back to the fact that Kyle Kaiser is only 18 years old. He doesn't have a whole lot of experience. So what Max Chilton's trying to do here is catch up to him and just give him a lot of pressure. But saying that, let's have a look at his teammate, Ed Jones, who had a horrible start, but has now been quicker by 0.6 a lap the last few laps, and he's catching these two quickly. So Max Chilton is going to want to get in front of Kyle Kaiser before Ed Jones reaches them.
That's going to be interesting when Jones catches up to his teammate there, if he does so in a little bit. And you're right, it's going to be imperative from Carlin Racing's perspective that Chilton needs to get around Kaiser as soon as possible. Up front, it's Sean Rahal by a second and a half. R.C. Enerson still runs in third position. And I just can't say enough about what Sean Rahal is doing. That's him there in the orange and black number 8 car for 8 Star Motorsports. He's been driving in sports cars for the last several years. Before that, he was on the path to NASCAR. Now back for just his second weekend in a Formula car since he was about 14 years old.
Yeah, he's a massively impressive individual, and I actually got a chance to work with him when he did the Team USA scholarship a few years back. Oh, look at this. Max Chilton gets the move done, slides it wide. What a beautiful move there. What a nice move for Max Chilton.
So Chilton grabs the position. He's in fourth position. And now we'll see Ed Jones quickly catch up to Kaiser, because Kaiser likely lost a little bit of time there trying to fend off Chilton, and then ultimately when the pass is done.
Let's see how much quicker Max Chilton is here. He's already got a little bit of an advantage, and look at this. Ed Jones is going to try and get him into turn 7.
Is he close enough? No.
Not this lap, but man, that's close. And Ed Jones is on fire at the moment. He's lapping faster than almost the entire field right now. The only two guys quicker are Sean Rahal and Jack Harvey. This could prove to be a real thriller.
And Jones is trying to salvage some points. He came in as the championship leader, 1 point in front of Spencer Pigot, who was already out, who's going to finish 12th. But Jack Harvey was just 2 points back, and he's running in second position right now. So Harvey, as we speak, is the championship leader. Jones is trying to make it as slim of an advantage as he possibly can.
And look at this, he's going to try and get a good run onto the front straight here as we see the leaders. But look at this, he's got the draft there, but I don't think he's going to be close enough this lap. Maybe he can do a last gasp here in the brake zone. Look at this. And he's going to go for it. Oh, and they tangle. Oh, slide tackle, and he makes it happen. Wow, Kyle Kaiser is not going to be happy with that one. That was a pretty aggressive slide tackle there into turn 1.
So Kaiser loses that spot. Jones is able to pounce, and he moves up to 5th position. So the Carlin Racing cars, also in their first year racing in Indy Lights, now running in the 4th and 5th position.
I can't believe the amount of beating and banging we've seen with these cars so far, and they seem to hold up so well. Look, that's not a small hit there. Wheel to wheel, and you see both guys get shaken around in their car.
So the racing has been fantastic here. Race number 2 of the weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we have about a dozen laps remaining. Does anyone have anything for Sean Rahal, looking to get to victory lane for the first time at Indy Lights? Back at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires with Anders Krohn and Katie Hargett. I'm Kevin Lee. Sean Rahal has dominated this event. Started second, got through in the first turn to the lead with a lot of contact, a lot of activity, and a lot of eventful moments in this race. Jack Harvey, who at the moment is the championship leader, running in second. R.C. Enerson is third. Then Max Chilton and Ed Jones, 4th and 5th. We're working on lap number 25 of 35. And Rahal continues to comfortably hold the advantage of the guy who tied for the championship last year, Jack Harvey, and won yesterday.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. I mean, Jack Harvey is obviously doing a great job in that Schmidt-Peterson car, but let's have a look here at Sean Rahal. I mean, in that 8-star motorsports car, they've only had limited testing. He came into the season midway through the beginning parts of the season, really, without any sort of testing. They raced with Scott Hargrove earlier in the year, but he has just been so strong. He was so good at Barber Motorsports Park. Had a little bit of bad luck, but he has just been a force to be reckoned with ever since. And this weekend, he's really come to life, and I really hope to see him in the Freedom 100.
I mentioned that he was in the stock car world and heading down that path and was very successful. Then he met Enzo Potolicchio, and they hit it off, and he did well, and you get hired to drive in sports cars. So he was excited to hear when Enzo, an 8-star, decided to go Indy Lights racing last fall, and he thought he had a deal all but done to not only race full-time in Indy Lights, but to race the long events in the Tudor Series this year and some other racing. It all fell apart in December. They came up with something. In fact, some of the people that he coaches in sports cars helped him get to Barber. And this weekend, Advisors is one of them. It's a college loan company. They help young students choose their school and also plan what they want to do. And also Base Egg, a stereo system. Think a little portable speaker that you can use as well. A couple of the groups that have helped him get there this weekend. And this is the kind of guy, a young American driver, you're hoping finds the support. We want to see him stay in open wheel racing.
Yeah, you really do, and he's been doing such a great job ever since he stepped foot in that Indy Lights car. And from a physical perspective, it's even impressive because these cars are incredibly tough physically to drive. And even though a sports car is physically challenging as well, it's a little bit different. He said that his endurance was really, really good, but his strength was suffering a little bit in Barber, and clearly that has not been a factor at all. As we see Jack Harvey closing in here, he just set the fastest lap that previous lap, and he is chasing him down. But at this point, I'd be surprised to see Sean Rahal push too hard. I think he's controlling the gap at this point.
This is going to be interesting, whether he is controlling that gap or whether Harvey is clearly faster. I think there's a pretty decent chance that they're at least going to be nose to tail by the time we get to the end of this one. And remember, Jack Harvey has more experience in conserving the tires, and Jack Harvey started this race on sticker tires. Not everyone, because of the amount of tires you're allowed for the weekend with a doubleheader, gets to start both races on sticker tires.
You're quite right, but it's one thing catching a driver, it's another passing, because you do get a lot of turbulent air from the driver in front through that infield section. We're now going through turn 2 through to turn 3 and turn 4, 2 really long sweepers. Very tough to get close to the car behind you there, or in front of you, should I say, because it produces a lot of turbulent air from those wings and the underside of the car. So Jack Harvey is doing all that he can right now to catch up, and Rahal here only about 1/10 of a second slower than Jack Harvey on that previous lap, so he upped his game a little bit as well.
Also worth noting that the push to pass is not available today, so that's going to impact Jack Harvey if and when he catches him. They've had some malfunctions. In fact, Ed Jones didn't have it in yesterday's race, which made it pretty remarkable that he was able to finish 3rd in that race after falling back to 5th in the early going. So they're having some problems, so they decided, you know what, we're just going to take it off everybody. We're still in the development stage and make sure everyone is on a level playing field.
And I don't think that's going to have a great impact on the racing, because you can use it offensively but also defensively. So Rahal here, if he saw Jack Harvey on the button, he could also push the button to try and pull away again. So I don't think it's going to have a huge impact on the racing, to be honest, in this instance. So, but Jack Harvey here clearly has got the pace right now, and you can see Sean Rahal on the front straight there actually went down to the middle of the track, then back up to the top of the track, and that is to make or to give a little bit less air to Jack Harvey in the draft there.
Harvey last year in this event, third and second, won yesterday. He said that's probably the biggest win of my career. I compare it to winning in Monaco. He said I finished second in Monaco in a kart race. Even though it's just a kart race, it still feels special. He said he's never raced in a car in Monaco, but just winning here, no matter where it's at, is something that he is always going to cherish.
Yeah, and he's had the amazing support of Racing Steps Foundation with him for his entire open wheel career. So they've been supporting him ever since he did Formula Renault, then F3 in Europe, and all these steps. And they've been a great supporter of his. And boy, has he done a great job with the support that they've given him. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy in the Indy 500 next year.
Well, the lead is down to about a second. Does Jack Harvey have anything for Sean Rahal? R.C. Enerson is still lurking. Another American teenager set for a podium. Stand by, the finish is coming up from Indianapolis. Heading to the final stages of the Mazda Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Indy Lights presented by Cooper Tires on NBCSN with Katie Hargan and Anders Krohn. I'm Kevin Lee. Sean Rahal is in front now by a second and a half. He has upped his advantage back another half a second on Jack Harvey, working on lap number 32 of 35. Harvey was looking for a sweep of the weekend after winning race 1 yesterday. Right now he's in second, still pedaling hard. R.C. Enerson, we see him in view, 4 seconds back of the leader. There he is in the red and black Lucas Oil car for Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports, coming through turn number 7. And then the two Carlin drivers, Max Chilton and Ed Jones, are 4th and 5th. It's been a rough day for Felix Sorales. It started so well. He jumped from 9th to 3rd in the opening corner, some slight contact, and later a spin, and now he has coasted to a stop going into the pit lane.
Yeah, that's a great shame for Felix Sorales as we see him into turn 12 here. Let's listen in. Just no power whatsoever there, and what a shame that's for him. But himself and Bilardi Auto Racing have really got to look at this as a great comeback here, because they had a lot of pace in Long Beach, and then they struggled a bit at Barber Motorsports Park, but boy, did they come back today and showed some great turn of speed. So they should be good come the Freedom 100.
Sean Rahal in front by a second and a half. Jack Harvey is in line with a second place finish to take over the championship lead on Ed Jones, who entered with a 1-point advantage on Spencer Pigot. Jack Harvey was 2 points back. Jones has worked his way from the back of the field. He got turned around in the first corner, but he's worked his way back up to 5th. So we see that Jones within 6. So that's not the best case scenario, but it could have been a lot worse for him today. Spencer Pigot's the big loser.
It's really a great salvation for Ed Jones there, coming back to within 6 points, because it looked like his day was going to be damn near over at the beginning of this. Spencer Pigot, like you said, is the big loser in all this, and it's a great shame for him, who'd built some great momentum so far in the season. But look at this. Jack Harvey has just been so smart, not just this race, but all season long. Just in the way he's driven. He's never put his car at big risk, and he's just made some seriously good moves. And he hasn't been able to touch Sean Rahal in the race today, but he sure has been strong, and as has his teammate R.C. Enerson. I can't begin to tell you how impressed I am with this kid, who moved up for USF 2000, stepped over Pro Mazda, now into Indy Lights, in the most successful Indy Lights team in history, and has done such a great job. Already has a podium, and is now on his way to get another podium here, and he's just driving so well.
We are less than 2 laps remaining. It's been a great weekend. It's a Verizon IndyCar Series weekend for the second time on the road course at IMS, and all levels of the Mazda Road to Indy racing this weekend. In Pro Mazda, Santiago Ruscio won earlier today. Timothy Beret won race 2. Weir and Tan run race number 1 on Thursday. And in USF 2000, Nico Jameen has won the last 3. He swept the weekend. So congratulations to all of those young drivers getting an opportunity to race and win. We're going to see the white flag in just a moment here for Sean Rahal. It is time to award our Cooper Tires Everyday Performer, and Anders, the committee of two, has no problem awarding this one. It is a very short discussion.
It really is, and Sean Rahal takes that with a landslide. No problem there. He's just been so impressive. Came in as a rookie to the series only 4 races ago and already on his way to win his first race. He's been picture perfect all day long, has not put a foot wrong. And look at this going into turn 1. He's not going to take any risks. No locked wheels, nothing like that. He's just cruising right now.
Less than a lap to go for Sean Rahal. Has nothing guaranteed beyond this weekend in any form of motorsport. This certainly is serving notice and should help. He finished second yesterday and is in line to get a win at the world's greatest race course. This is the long straightaway, the backstretch going into turn number 7. Jack Harvey looking for Rahal to make a mistake. He will not right here.
Look at this going through 8, 9, 10, the most technical complex on the track. Rolling into turn 10, not a single mistake. He's going to leave a little bit of extra room there, more than usual, and he's going to cruise to his first victory. What an impressive performance for him and 8-Star Motorsports.
Sean Rahal is from Georgia. He lives in the Atlanta area now, born in Winston, Georgia. He's performed at virtually every type of racing in American motorsports. Sports cars, stock cars, now back in Formula cars. Final turn, Sean Rahal in 8-Star Motorsports has won at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
And there are not many drivers that can say that they've crossed that yard of bricks in first place, winning the race. Absolutely impressive for Sean Rahal and 8-Star Motorsports. Wow, what a performance.
And Jack Harvey lost several positions in the finish. We'll have to go back and find out what happened with Harvey, because he finished in 5th. R.C. Enerson comes through in 2nd position. Max Chilton 3rd. Then Ed Jones. Harvey in 5th. So Jones is going to come out still on top of the championship.
Unbelievable. I have no idea what happened there. That is crazy. And obviously Sean Rahal here showing his true American self with doing some solid burnouts. That is awesome to see. But yeah, we need a replay here on Jack Harvey, what happened there. Oh, he's just slowing down. Is he losing power? Yeah,
but he obviously lost power coming out of the final corner and had to coast to a stop. From 2nd to 5th in the final corner for Jack Harvey. But the day belongs to Sean Rahal. He has won for 8-Star Motorsports at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll hear from the young American in victory lane coming up. Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Mazda Grand Prix of Indianapolis, Indy Lights, where 20-year-old Georgia native Sean Rahal has won in just his 4th Indy Lights start, his 2nd weekend in the car, grabbed the lead in the first quarter and wins it by nearly 4 seconds. What a scene in victory lane. Let's go down now to Katie Hargitz.
In just his 2nd weekend of Indy Lights competition, Sean Rahal passes the points leader Ed Jones in turn 1, lap 1 here in the streets of Indianapolis for the win here for the GP of Indy. Sean, just your 2nd weekend of Indy Lights competition, and you've already come away with the win. What was the learning curve like? You made it pretty quick.
Words can't explain. I wish I could talk right now, but wow. Thank you to 8-Star Motorsports, Basseg Advisors, Road to Indy, Mazda, Cooper Tires. I can't explain how I feel.
You can't explain it, but explain that pass for Ed Jones. That's the points leader. That was a very gutsy pass on lap 1.
Yeah, they're racing for points. We're here for this is my last race, and I had to go for it. Enzo told me, leave it all out there. Don't come back with anything left.
Just his 2nd weekend of Indy Lights competition, and Sean Rahal already winning here at the Grand Prix of Indianapolis.
What a moment. Just makes you feel good for Sean Rahal, living the American dream.
Unbelievable. Winning at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in the month of May in Indy Lights on the road course. What a race for Sean Rahal.
He wins the day. Ed Jones, despite problems earlier, leads still with the championship lead and extends it. Jack Harvey going from 2nd to 5th in that final corner when he lost power. Let's find out more on Jack Harvey down at pit lane and Katie Hargitz.
Jack Harvey was 2nd on the last lap, and then the next thing I know, I looked up and Jack, you were in 5th. What happened?
I mean, coming out of turn 5, going into turn 7, I mean, honestly, the car just went into limp mode. I got a warning on my dash, just said limp mode, and yeah, I mean, honestly, I just chugged round to the end, and we had a good race. Started 4th, and pretty much spent the whole race in 2nd. I didn't quite have much of an answer for Sean. He was flying today, but I mean, honestly, you know, we deserve to be 2nd, I think, absolutely, and you know, disappointing way to finish the race on, you know, 35-lap race to get half a lap away from being 2nd at the Speedway. It would have been a great result for the team. It's what we deserve, but unfortunately we didn't get that in the end.
All right, thank you, Katie. Spencer Pigot out early in this race, and the great thing is we stay here, and these young drivers get a chance to race on the weekend of the greatest spectacle in racing, the Friday before the Indianapolis 500 on Carb Day. We cannot wait for that. You'll see it live here on NBCSN as all a part of our Carb Day coverage from 11 until 3:30 on Friday the 22nd. For Katie Harkin and Andrew Strone, I'm Kevin Lee. Congratulations, Sean Rahal.